Alright, YouTube, welcome back. My name is B-Luds, and we're going to be talking about Pro Supercross SMX Round 7 in Arlington, Texas. First and foremost, Hunter Lawerence rings the bell for his first career 450 win. I had made this video earlier, and I didn't realize that was Hunter's first win. You would have thought Hunter had won already, but apparently that was his first main event win in the 450 class, officially marking him as a contender. And I think the three contenders this year is Tomac, Webb, and Lawerence, and we'll get into all three of them. But we'll start with Hunter. So I think Hunter is interesting because everyone kind of assumes since he's a tier lower than Jet, that he isn't like that. But when you watch Hunter, his technique and his style of riding is so good, especially for a 450, where the throttle control, you can see it on the track. See it in the way those two boys ride, those two men now. They ride. Hunt's good. Hunt's one of the top 5 right now. He's one of the top 3 riders in the world. Ricky kind of, I think, hinted at it, or not hinted at it. Ricky had talked about it on the broadcast a couple weeks ago about him slowly building this season and kind of stacking good result after good result. And then he had a bad bad-ish Seattle, where he got like a 4th or 5th. But he rings the bell, expands his title lead over, I believe, Eli. And overall, just for him to get that first win, really impressive win. It was a great race, 4-battle race. He didn't start in the lead, made a few really important passes at timely points in the race, got the lead, didn't squander the lead. He never really gave Tomac too big of a chance. We'll get into Tomac and the red flag situation for both classes. But just regarding Hunter, he's been really good this year. He had the points lead going into this race, not without a win. And the big kind of question with him is if he could win early enough in the season to truly be a contender. And clearly he can. Going into this week, I feel like he had most, for like the single week, most at stake. Where if he didn't win this week, probably wasn't going to have the points lead. He probably isn't a contender. More than likely isn't a contender. And I'm sure everyone's seen this, that's watched this. But the stats kind of show that if you don't win by week 7, you do not win the championship. That's the latest people have ever won the championship, and it's only happened twice. So, yeah, H-Law's a contender, 110% now. Hunter Lawerence name is in that. Obviously, we're getting into the nitty-gritty. I think Daytona's next week, so I think we'll start to see Webb kind of push. Webb's push usually comes in the next 3 weeks is when it starts. So I think over the next month, expect Cooper Webb's results to kind of slowly build, especially when we start getting into like Atlanta, some of those southeast tracks, northeast tracks. That's where Webb really starts to shine. And kind of shifting into Webb, I want to talk about Webb next because decent ride from Webb. I thought he rode good all day. I didn't really watch qualifying today, but in his moto he was fast. Main event he was fast. Webb's sure as heck not out of this championship yet. That's the sneaky thing about Cooper Webb. He's the one contender that really doesn't need to have a good first half of the year. Webb never has really that good of a first half, being an East Coast boy, raised in North Carolina, I think. Grew up riding in North Carolina. It's just, he rode East. I remember him winning 250 West once, actually, maybe even twice. But he just has a lot more experience in the East Coast. That's kind of his style of riding in dirt, style tracks. So expect Webb to start turning it up. He knows he needs to, and there's nothing. The more people kind of ride off Webb and kind of fade on Webb, he'll just bring it back out of nowhere and win a race, important race, you know. So we still have like Georgia, and we still have a couple Florida races. I don't know the whole schedule. I know going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh will be interesting. I don't know what kind of dirt or style layout that is, but yeah, that's kind of my opinion on Webb. Is if Webb hangs within striking distance for the first half of the championship, he immediately becomes a threat. The deeper and deeper you go into the championship, the longer Cooper Webb's hanging around, the worse you are off. Webb's won this thing 3 times in a row. We're going to show him his respect. He is top of the top when it comes to racecraft and situational racing, knowing his spots where he needs to win. Yeah, don't sleep on Webb. He might not win it this year, but if the opportunity arises, he's like the one that's going to take that opportunity. And sliding into Eli, who, truth be told, probably was getting that second either way with the red flag situation. I wasn't watching at that point in the race, so I don't know how much he benefited. I know he probably benefited a lot from it. I think he may have even passed both of them on it, but Eli's kind of had a wild season. It kind of feels like an older or younger Tomac season where he's just winning a lot of races, but the other races, the results really haven't been there. But then there's been a couple races where he's been there with the results where it's getting like the seconds, the thirds. Those are what win you the championship. 18th ain't winning you. Getting first and then 10th is not going to win you a championship. It's the third. It's stacking the podiums, the fourths, just the top fives, doing the dungy, just stacking good races after good races. And I think that's been the negative of Eli this year. He's been really up and down. Otherwise, his riding's been really good for, especially being considering we've been talking about him retiring for years now. Eli's still top of the game. When Eli turns it on, Eli turns it on. Blessing to watch him. We're getting into Daytona. He's going to be expected to win, favored to win, and all that. Probably will win next week. I'll definitely be picking him. But Eli doesn't get interesting until the week after because the speed's there, the starts have been there. It's just, I feel like he's struggling to put everything together this year, oddly enough. The KTM looks like he's having a good time on it. He's riding really good on the KTM. It's not a bike thing, I don't think. I don't even think it's a hit. It's just, it's been a weird season for Eli. Still a championship contender, still in the fight, only 4 points back. We're not even halfway through the year. I think he'd be favored to win the championship, if I'm being honest. I'm picking Eli. He just needs to start railing off just like a 5-week stretch of just consistent, no BS. And that's usually younger Tomac, like 2015, 2016, 2017 Tomac. That was a real big thing about him, was riding kind of like this, where he'd win most races, but he'd have the most bad results of the contenders, and that's what would kill him every year. And the last 5-ish years, he's really eliminated that. So kind of feels weird that he's doing it this year, but yet again, we're not even halfway through the season. He's not all panics. If your Sexton panics are on, Sexton and Kawasaki should be panicking right now. That's the team I would say would be panicking. We'll probably end up doing a video on Sexton because, good Lord, he does not look good this year. And it's everything with Sexton, but this is besides the point. 450 class is really fun this week. 4-way battle. Roxon is, I think, rider 4 in this championship. Still don't know where I'd judge Roxon if contender or not. If he is a contender, it's the very bottom of the tier. It's just hard to say ever since that injury that Roxon can win an indoor championship. Not hating on Roxon. He's still front, like, starter race speed, probably the fastest. Like, Roxon, no limitations, probably the fastest guy out there. Maybe Tomac. Obviously, Jet's not out there right now. Jet's there, he's probably the fastest, obviously. But those really names in the 450 class. No one went down too bad and got injured. I heard Barsha's going to be back next week. God bless. I was looking out for Barsha. It's always a great thing. I know Mookie crashed, so hopefully Mookie's okay. Otherwise, let me know what you thought of the race weekend. We'll probably do a little 250 East class talking points and like a top video about that because the 250 East class is crazy. Otherwise, it's a good 450 race. We'll see y'all at Daytona. It's going to be a great time at Daytona next week. Not going to be there, but we'll definitely be talking about it. Early predictions, going Tomac. Going to pick Webb, probably 4th. And then probably Hunter and Roxon somewhere in there. And then 5th will be tough. Might even slide Chase into there. Chase really needs a good result. But Chase is a whole nother topic in video. Otherwise, let me know what you guys think about Daytona next week, too. We're here to discuss, talk about it. Leave a comment, subscribe. Thank you for making it this far in the video. My name is B. Lutz, and yeah, this is my channel.